Hello everybody, it's Rosie and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reading the Heartstopper series by Oseman, so make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you have not already and subscribe. So last week Netflix released a series called Heartstopper, and I had no idea that it was based on a graphic novel when I watched it, and I fell in love with it instantly. I watched the entire thing in one sitting. It is 8 episodes long and it's just pure magic and innocence, and it's just so wholesome, and I am wholeheartedly in love with the Netflix series. And when I found out that it was based off of a book series, I got so excited because I wanted to read it so badly and experience and see what the original source material is like. So I can't get it from my library because I'm 11th in line, because so many people want to read it after the series came out, but I did find it on webtoons, so I'm going to be reading it right here and right now on webtoons with you guys. So I cannot wait. Yay. This is so wholesome. Nick just saw Charlie like running for the first time. Let me show you. Look at him. He's so cute. Oh my god. Ben Hope makes me so mad. You know that TikTok sound that's like, if I ever see that cheeky, that's how I feel about Ben. Just get your hands off Charlie. He doesn't want to be with you. A true Instagram boyfriend. The sequence that I'm currently reading is my favorite sequence in the show, probably. It's just, I don't know, it makes me feel so warm inside, and I love it so much. I know. I'm gonna cry. It's so cute. I mean, just look at them. They're so wholesome, and now they're in color. They just kissed. It's so cute. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. It's so wholesome. Cue the gay panic. Charlie just said, seeing you sad makes me sad, and I have never related to something more in my life. Same. I love Tori. I love her. Coach Singh is a real one though. Okay, so not gonna lie, I have no idea how webcomics work, and I was reading and I was like, this is really long for volume 1. And I thought that the television show was based off of volume 1 and volume 2. And I've read past what's happened in the show. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was all together and they wouldn't tell me like how the books were separated out. So that's on me. I'm currently in the equivalent of like what's volume 3, which is chapter 4. So I think I'll just debrief a little bit in the future about what went on, because I was a little bit ditzy unintentionally. Okay, so let's talk about Heartstopper. I'm just gonna put a spoiler warning out there. Everything that I discuss from here on out is gonna be a spoiler for not only the webcomic, but also probably the show. So let's get into it. I am so excited, oh my goodness. So I watched the show when it came out on April 22nd. I really had nothing better to do, and it just came up on my Netflix recommended, so I watched it and I instantly fell in love with it. And that led me to reading the webcomic, which is what I've been doing in this entire video with you guys here. So the first 2 volumes of Heartstopper is what the Netflix series is based off of, and they are just so wholesome, and it's the entire journey of Nick and Charlie getting together and just Nick getting comfortable and coming to terms with his sexuality, and he's never had to question it before. So there's just a lot of, you know, conversation surrounding what it's like to, you know, come to terms with your sexuality and the stigma of not being straight and people bullying you because of it. And there were so many important discussions, which I absolutely loved on the page and on screen as well. There were a few differences between the show and the books, not anything major. Obviously the show, like, they had to stretch it out a little bit. You know, Netflix is known for their slow burns, like look at Bridgerton, for example. What I really liked about the show is that we got to see a lot more of Tara and Darcy, and then we also got to see a lot more of Tao and Elle. The first 2 volumes of the webtoon and the graphic novels were primarily focused on Nick and Charlie, while we did get to see those important discussions between Nick and Tara and, you know, Charlie and Tao. There just was not a lot of focus on those relationships in the novels, but on the show we got to see a lot more of it, and I absolutely loved getting to see Darcy's turmoil with coming out publicly, because that wasn't something that was really discussed in the books at all, and I think they did a beautiful job of bringing that to life in the show. In the show, we also saw a lot more of Tao and Elle. While it was hinted at in the webtoon, there wasn't a lot of focus on it, and we didn't really see anything happen with both of them until towards the end of volume 3. So I really loved seeing that focus in the show, like on that relationship, because it is like a super special relationship. There were also a lot of conversations that happened a little bit out of order, like the entire scene where Charlie and Nick are laying on a picnic blanket in the park. That conversation is kind of pieced together with another scene from the webtoon, so it's like kind of 2 conversations melded together. And also in the webtoon, Charlie was the one who kind of put the idea of bisexuality into Nick's head. Like, that was an entire discussion that they had, and in the show Nick was like googling what it was. I will say that the British education system failed Nick. I mean, I'm not really sure what it's like in America. It's been 6 years since I've taken high school health, but like in the graphic novels, Charlie also has a younger brother, which I was not expecting. I was like, Charlie is the youngest child. Charlie is the embodiment of being the youngest child, but not in the webtoons. Also, regarding volumes 1 and 2, we should talk about Isaac and Aled. So in the show, we have this awesome character named Isaac. He doesn't have too many lines, but he is so funny. Like, he's a part of the friend group that is Charlie, Tao, Elle, and then there's Isaac in the show. But in the books, we don't have this character called Isaac. We have a character called Aled, who is kind of an Isaac equivalent, not quite, but I feel like they're placeholders for each other in a way. Editing Rosie from the future, but also some stuff I forgot to mention is that in the books, people actually noticed that Nick and Charlie were flirting with each other, and in the show, everyone seemed to be completely oblivious unless they were a bully. And then also, a lot of the shots in the show mimicked all of the drawings in the comics, which was really awesome. Like the screen adaptation was literally the comic and the webtoon coming to life, which I haven't really seen before. So that was really sweet, and it was really great that they stayed true to Alice Oseman's work. Yeah, but other than that, in the show, Joe Locke and Kit Connor did an absolutely phenomenal job. Like, I could not think of anybody more perfect to play Nick and Charlie. Like, they truly did embody those characters, and Kit played Nick's turmoil so beautifully. Just like, you could actively see his struggle even if there was no dialogue, just like with his body and his expressions. And just, if you were to have told me that this was Joe Locke's first time on screen, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, he played Charlie so perfectly. Chef's kiss, Alice Oseman, well done. Netflix, well done. The entire cast and crew, well done. Now we're going to talk about volume 3, and I do want to preface this with a trigger warning because we are going to talk about some heavy topics, so just be mindful moving into this section. But volume 3 takes place in Paris. The boys' school and the girls' school have a conjoined trip to Paris, which is really cool to see, because this is the first time that we're seeing like Nick and Tara and Darcy and Charlie and Tao and Elle like interact in a big like capacity, like for the entirety of a series instead of just here and there, which is really cool. In volume 3, we get a little bit of a glimpse into Nick's family life. Like he has a very, very strained relationship with his father, which we're not really aware of until this point. And we also get to see a lot of the internal struggles that Charlie has as an individual. There is mention of self-harm when he was getting bullied, which is a storyline that takes place before the books even start. And then we're also introduced to the idea of him having an eating disorder as well. So those are some really, really heavy themes, and we get to see the start of them in this book. We also get to see a new like romance between two of the teachers that are chaperoning this trip. So fingers crossed there is a Heartstopper season 2, but I would really like to see that in the show for sure. When there is a season 2, we're gonna manifest it. And then volume 4 explores Charlie's mental health even further. So at this point, Charlie has told his parents about his eating disorder, and he like stays in rehab essentially to get help, and he's diagnosed with anorexia as well as OCD. But we also get to see Nick and Charlie navigate a new side of their relationship and go on a new journey together that's not just all like sunshine and rainbows and fluffy happy endings that the first 2 volumes were. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. So make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see more Heartstopper content, follow me on TikTok at Hannah Rosefoot. I will link it down below. But comment down below if you have watched or read Heartstopper, because it's 100% worth it. Like, please take my word, go watch it if you have not already. But like I said before, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in another video very, very soon, because I upload every single Monday and Fridays when I feel like it. Bye!